Hello everybody and welcome to the second episode of Player 2 Cooks. We're here cooking recipes from our competition winners from the Hot Sauce of Oblivion. Thanks to Bethesda Australia, we had given away 5 bottles and part of the win was that I would cook their winning recipes. But we've got another good news, so we've got more. Bethesda liked the cooking idea so much they've given us 5 more bottles to give away. So in each of these episodes from now on, from this episode on, I'm going to hide something ESO related in the video. Okay, so I'm going to hide it in the video, and on the bottom of the post on Player 2, there'll be a little form to enter, and you've just got to tell me with your name and email where the ESO item is in the video. So if it's on the bread box or if it's on the desk or whatever, just put it in there, and every correct answer goes in the draw to win a bottle of the Hot Sauce of Oblivion. We've got 1 bottle per video, so we had 5 winners. We've already done 1 video. I'm actually going to do a recipe of my own choice as the last video in this series, so that'll be where the 5th bottle is. But for now, let's move on to the next episode. Today we're doing Joel Beckett's Mehrunes Dagon Nachos. So Joel's nacho recipe is rather simple. It's a very basic nachos. I'm going to tart it up a bit. But the reason Joel won was he got very creative with the naming of the recipe and used a whole bunch of ESO and Elder Scrolls language in creating the recipe, which is why he won. His creativity was great there. So I'm actually going to tart it up a little bit and make nachos how I would do it, using his recipe as a base. But the first thing we're going to do today is is to make the guacamole. I think store-bought guac is pretty shit generally, and it's really easy to make your own. And this is how I do it. So to make guac, all we need is an avocado. We need some spices. I use cumin, coriander, and some garlic, salt and pepper. That's it. Then we also need a little bit of light sour cream. So this may not be a traditional guacamole, but it is pretty, standard. So to start things off, also having a processor makes this process really easy. Alright, so first things first, we cut the avocado around. Nice soft avocado for this is what we want. Just put that there for the moment. Just take that out. And that's a good trick. If you ever if you've got a sharp knife to get the seed out without worrying, then you've just got to worry about getting it off your knife. Teaspoon in. Scoop all the avocado in there. So, you've got all the avocado in your food processor. Put that over there, grab my tea towel. Then, for the extra ingredients, what we want is about a teaspoon of cumin. All this is to taste, but just a bit of the cumin. Now, the coriander paste is really good, especially in Canberra, because growing coriander in the winter is a bit difficult, and it's also a bit harder to get the fresh stuff. So the paste works really well in this instance. Also, if you don't like coriander, if you're one of those people, you don't have to add it. Just a little squirt in there. Adds a nice freshness to it. Good crack of salt. Good crack of pepper. And about a half teaspoon of garlic powder. Half a teaspoon or so. Put that in. Put that down. Now the last thing we add is the sour cream. Just scoop that up with your teaspoon. Probably add about half of this, maybe even 3/4 of this little tub of sour cream. You want quite a bit in there. So there we go, that's in. That's about 3/4 of that tub in there. All right, so you've got it in your food processor. That's pretty much it. You can add chili in here, which is something I quite often do, but I'm not going to because we're using the Hot Sauce of Oblivion, so the heat will come elsewhere. But we just put it in here, and I'm really sorry, I don't know what this is going to do to my mic. I don't have a professional mic, but this will do. Rinse it around. I'll hold it over here. Push that down a bit. It's not getting in there, but that's all right. And what you do is you also add just a touch of lemon juice. That stops it from going brown. Just a little splash in there. You know, and this will keep for a week or so in your fridge. So as you can see, it's starting to come up to a nice little paste there. And that's pretty much, with a little bit of sour cream on the sides we scrape down. Just, you know, make sure you get all the goodies in there. Give it another quick buzz. There we go. That's it. That is the guacamole done. So, just get a little Tupperware container somewhere, if I can find one. You know, it's Tupperware, you never find one in your bloody house, do you? If you find one that doesn't have a lid. But, we'll just take the blade out there, scrape it off the blade, so you don't miss any of the good stuff. And then we just pour it in. Into a little Tupperware container, in which we will then put in the fridge for when we start making the nachos and start getting it ready. That's in there. Always have a little taste. Yep, pretty good. It's important taste. You can balance the salt and you know, sweet and all those other things. You can add a bit more spice if you would like. But we're just going to put that in the fridge and then get ready to make up our nachos. All right, we've made our guac. We've got it here ready to make up. And we're going to make up our nachos and put them in the oven. Joel's recipe said microwave nachos. They're great if you want just cheesy chips, and that's cool, but I like to go a little bit more. But it's still pretty quick. So as you can see, it only took us 5 minutes to make the guac. And now we're going to make it up. And I'm going to show a few little tricks that I've learned in my many nacho days in the past. So we do have a good corn chip. CC's are fine, but you can get some really nice tortilla chips that work really well with nachos. We want a melty cheese. This is a really good one. This is a mix of cheeses, but you know, whatever melty cheese you like, mozzarella, you know, a bit of Parmesan. If you can get it, a bit of pecorino is really nice. You know, something with a little bite, it's all good. We've of course got the Hot Sauce of Oblivion, and we've also got some more sour cream, a normal salsa that you can buy, any old salsa, mild, hot, spicy, whatever you like. I'm using a mild once again because we're using the Hot Sauce of Oblivion for heat. And after trying the wings last week, we don't need to add extra heat when using the hot sauce. And the last little bit is a trick. This is a great trick I've learned. You can get these at the shops. The standard stuff, flat-bottomed tortillas. Themselves, not really tasty. But for what we're doing now, they are perfect, let me tell you. All right. So the first thing we want to do is we're going to use these to create just a little bowl. 2 little bowls actually we're going to do in this one. Like so. I hope you can see that there. So we've got 2 little bowls there. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with the guac. So we take the guac, we got it there, nice scoop into there, nice scoop into there. You know, so you've got the bottom covered nicely. And we go there like that. So we've covered the bottom of the little bowls there. Then we want the salsa. Oh, that spoon's a bit big. Small spoon. We want the salsa. Get that in there, nice and goopy. Just a thin layer of the salsa, you don't need a lot of it in there. And we're going to use a bit of it later. Okay. Then we use the sour cream. So, we might need a little bit more. Lucky I've got more in the fridge. We just dollop on top like that. And, we might have enough here. Maybe a little bit more. Just dollop on top like that. I'm just going to get a little bit more. There we are. Just put that there like that. So we've got kind of a bit of sour cream at the top. And then we're going to use our Hot Sauce of Oblivion. So we're going to just put the Hot Sauce of Oblivion. Just a couple of little, because you don't need much. Just a couple of little splashes there, like that. Next step, cheese. Just on top there, just on top there. Beautiful. All right. So now we've done those. You can put this away for a second. Get the chips out. Now when you're doing nachos, you want every bit to have cheese, right? Because otherwise it's pretty boring. So what I do is do just a small layer, then layer it with cheese, then a small layer, then layer it with cheese, and do it in multiple steps. That way, it's really unhealthy, but really tasty. And with this melty cheese, you don't need heaps, you just need a little bit, because it goes a long way. So there we go, that's one layer down. This is a fairly shallow container, so we won't go too many layers. We might do 3 layers. You know, just make sure they all fit in. Doesn't matter if they fall into the sauce, right? It's just about making them cheesy. Cheese again. Like I said, you don't need heaps. Just enough. Make sure all the chips have got a bit of melty goodness on them. And then we'll do one more layer. And if you're a bit high over the bowls, so what? Who cares? This is not going to be a clean eating. You're not going to eat this without getting messy, so you may as well embrace it, right? I'm sure the chip packet is doing wonders for my microphone. I'm really sorry about that. Chips in. A few more chips there. More chips there. So what we do now on the last layer, we just get our salsa, we give it a little splatter over. Just, it helps keep a little bit of moisture in there without soggying the chips too much. And adds a bit of nice flavour. We can then, we're going to add a little bit more of the Oblivion, just a couple of little splashes so people will get a surprise. It's you know, treat with care. Couple there, beautiful. And then the last layer of cheese. And that can go all over. This is where you can be a bit more generous. There we go. Now at this point, if you had some fresh coriander, you could chop that up, throw it on top, or maybe some parsley or something, which isn't really Mexican, but you know, some coriander would be really nice there. But I don't have any, I've only got the paste stuff. So from there, we just stick it in the oven. I've preset the oven for about 190, 180, 190, and should only take 20 minutes or so to be done. But we're going to put that in the oven now. So that's in, and I'll catch you in 20 minutes when we bring out the final reveal. All right, we're here. The nachos are ready in the oven. We're about to pull them out. It's worth noting they're going to be hot. Use hand protection. Any old pot holder, but yeah, don't burn your hands. Don't be a dickhead. All right. So we've got them here. The Nachos of Oblivion. There we are. So what I do now is usually let them rest for 5 minutes just to let the cheese and everything set a little bit, and also to cool down before you dig in. But if you want, now's the time to add a little bit of fresh herb, a bit of spice if you like. But otherwise, they're ready to go. So we're just going to let these cool, and then we're going to try them out. All right, we're here. We're ready to try them. I have my son, Ash, here. He's coming around to try some as well. We don't have the big party like we did last week, but Ash and I are going to enjoy some nachos while we go and watch a movie later. So, you ready, Ash? Yeah. Dive in. Big chip. Get the nachos off and dip it straight in. All this gooey cheese, go right to the bottom where the guac is. Get some of that cheese up like that. Get in there. What do you reckon?
Spicy.
You got the spicy bit? You got the real spicy bit?
Yeah. It's good though.
It's good though? Want some more? Have another one. See if you can get by the spicy. Come on, chicken. Get that nice melty cheese. Get it on all that dip. Mmm. It's not too spicy. Got the hum though. Starts to build up a bit, but
I don't think I've got any guac, that's why. On the last one.
There's no guac in the spicy.
No.
Oh, but yeah, the guac helps cool it down. So, there you have it. The really cool thing about these little tortilla boats is that at the end you can eat them. And they're really nice because they got all the nice sauce and stuff. And yeah.
I thought they were little cup things.
No, not little cup things, little tortilla boats. So at the end it's a bit like a cob loaf. You can break it all up and eat it and have it with more cheese.
We should do this every time.
We should do this every time. It's an amazing trick, isn't it?
Yeah, less washing.
Less washing. But thank you for joining me for this episode of Player 2 Cooks. We'll be back next week with a new one as we continue to work our way through the Hot Sauce of Oblivion recipes. Don't forget to look in this video and try and find the ESO merch, the Elder Scrolls merch that is hiding somewhere in the video. When you find it, enter on the website. You'll see it on this post. You can enter and maybe win your own bottle of the Hot Sauce of Oblivion, and it is quite tasty. It is spicy. I'm not lying, but it is quite a really nice hot sauce. So thank you for joining us this episode, and we'll catch you next time in my kitchen. See ya.